What's up, everybody, and welcome. Today, we are working on an introduction to WordPress. And you guys, WordPress is really exciting. If you are planning to have a website online, it runs about 40% of the world's websites, which is great. So now, let's get to it. What is this WordPress that we're talking about? What makes it so unique in terms of its competitors as well? So, WordPress is basically this web-based software tool that is used to create websites and blogs. And it it is an incredibly powerful tool. Now, there are a lot of different competitors like Wix, like Weebly, like Squarespace, like things like that. These are competitors to WordPress, but WordPress is unique. And we're going to talk about why it's unique. And one of the things that we should be aware of is that it's actually a community-driven software with really thousands of free and commercial plugins. So things that you can have for free, things that you can pay for, and themes that help you develop this framework for your website. That way you're not starting from scratch. You actually have something, it's very highly customizable. That's what makes it so different from anything else. And it builds on top of HTML. So if you know anything about coding, this would be an addition on top, kind of like the cherry on top that builds through it. And if not, then you can still continue. You don't have to have extensive knowledge of coding. Truthfully, you don't have you don't have to have any coding knowledge at all. But before we continue further, defining what WordPress is, I have to make a distinction between WordPress.com and WordPress.org because these are two different platforms. They're the same in the name, but they're not the same in playing the game. Look at me trying to rhyme. All right, so they're the same in name, but which was a very smart thing that the owners of this company did when they developed it, is that they made the two very similar. But WordPress.com is a paid service. It is a hosting service for your website, whereas WordPress.org is you can do it on you can use the same web-based software to build your website, but it does not have to be hosted by WordPress.com. So WordPress.org is an open source software, whereas WordPress.com is a subscription based or a paid service that you're getting from a particular company. The other one is an open source. That's why it's community driven. With WordPress.com, the platform takes care of all the aspects of running your website, like things like updates and backups. Whereas WordPress.org, you have full control of your website, and you are the one responsible for managing the updates, the backups, the security, and so forth, which might not always be great. But if you have other hosting providers, then they might be able that run on WordPress. I know GoDaddy does, for example. You can have them take care of that as well. Again, there are so many things that cross over between the two, but if you want the free version of WordPress.com, it is not very highly customizable. So you won't get a feel of truly what it's like to work with this web-based software unless you want to pay for it. Whereas if you're downloading it locally, which we will talk about again in a minute, if you're downloading it locally and running it locally on your computer, locally meaning your machine that's right in front of you, then you wouldn't have to pay for it. You can experiment with it. You could play with it. You can design the website that you want to design without any hiccups. So now that we know that, we know then that WordPress can either be used through WordPress.com or through WordPress.org. And when we talk about WordPress.org, we take that software, the web-based software, and we download it on the local machine. The way we do that is through something like services like Local by Flywheel, which downloads straight to your computer, and then it will create all the files that are needed for you. And then it will allow you to create a site that doesn't have to be connected to the internet. So let's say you're on a flight from here to England and, you have 10, 11 hours that you want to work on your website. You don't have to be connected to the internet. You can actually just do this on your own. So what that allows you is the ability to kind of create a mock site where you get all the content together. That way you're not running on a live site all the time, and then taking that content and then later uploading it as a whole or in parts to this website that you are hosting online. And that really just creates a safe space for you. So I highly recommend it. Whether you're paying for your service or not, it is highly, highly recommended that you have something like Local by Flywheel or WOMP server or other ones as well that will allow you to do that. So these programs, what they do is they act like a web server that store locally on your computer, on your machine, and allows you to edit without internet access, which means that you've already have a clear idea and a clear vision of how your website is going to look like. And that's something brilliant. Of course, there are other things that go in the back end of things, but they're not, you don't really have to concern yourself with them. It's so intuitive, it's so user-friendly that it just makes life a lot easier. Now, granted, once you build your site on there, you want to migrate your site somewhere else. That takes a little bit more work. And that's, but again, that's the cost of the freedom of being able to create the site that you want that fits your needs and your purpose. So, themes in WordPress are a great addition to this software. And what they do is they offer this convenient way to customize the look and feel of your website, really with thousands of free and premium themes that are available. And that way you have this wide range of options to choose from. Themes not only determine the overall layout of your website, but also they control aspects like color, like typography, like styles. These are all things that within the theme, they dictate everything that goes associated with them. And you can easily change that, by the way, and that will change throughout your entire website. So let's say you have, you've downloaded a template and that template has a blue color throughout. So all the buttons for you are blue. Well, you can either change the button one by one, or you can, if you want that specific button to be different, or you can go to the settings, you can go to the customization, and with one click, change all of them. And so by using these themes, truthfully, you can easily change the appearance of your website without needing coding experience. While there's still, the software itself still uses coding. It's still built with HTML. It's still built with CSS. It still has these aspects, yet it provides this flexibility and customization option without you having to worry about that. And so you can modify your theme's code or themes customization options to make adjustments to your layouts, your colors, your fonts, and other visual elements. It doesn't really matter whether it's like a minimal design. It doesn't matter if you want it bold and vibrant or something niche specific for you, for your niche. There are themes out there. There are so many themes out there that there has to be one that fits your needs. And again, some of these themes on Theme Forest or on things like that are stuff that you have to pay for. Other times it's not, which is pretty cool. Next up, we are continuing with WordPress, again, design. And you can use WordPress to expand on your current HTML website. So if you have built on HTML, if you've had someone build your website on that, then you can expand on that and you can convert your HTML website into a WordPress format and really tap into that extensive plugin library. And plugins are software extensions that can easily be installed and activated to add a specific feature or functionality to your website. It's almost like an add-on. You add it to your website so that it does certain things. For example, if you are collecting information like forms, you want that to be available on your site. Instead of you having to code all of it, you go to one of these plugins, you add it in, and now it's functioning in that way. This is like really important when you're talking about e-commerce capabilities, for example, or SEO optimizations. These are things that are essential for e-commerce capabilities. It will allow you to sell things from your website because it's running on these plugins that are added to your site that already have that built-in functionality, like WooCommerce, for example, or Shopify. You can add those to your site. And so WordPress, what it does and why it's so important is that it provides this user-friendly content management system, which is CMS, and it really allows you to easily update and manage your website's content. And so with WordPress as a CMS, you can add, you can edit you can organize your web pages, your blog posts, your images, and other media file. And that's something that is very needed because it will make your life a lot easier. You can go onto your blog, edit your blog like nothing happened, easy as 1, 2, 3 kind of situation. Whereas before you would have to go in and you would have to code it, and that's the difference. So you can also use again WordPress to expand on your HTML capabilities, which is something that we talked about a little bit before. It also works well with CSS if you are familiar with these things. Continuing on with our WordPress, and this time we're not just talking about design, we are also talking about development. So development in WordPress, it offers a seamless and user experience or user-friendly experience, and that makes it accessible to both the designers and the client. And you as a client, if you're running your business, then it makes it easier on you because you are able to clearly and easily navigate through this with some sort of knowledge about it. And as a designer, it will make your life so much easier in terms of like changing things and editing and really just putting together this design. So one key advantage of WordPress is that it has this extensive plugin ecosystem. And this allows you to easily expand the functionality and customization of your website. So plugins in WordPress, they serve as this powerhouse tool that extends the core capabilities of the platform. And so they enable designers and developers to enhance the website with the various features and functionality without the need of extensive coding. And that offers a wide range of categories to cater to the different needs. So for example, again, as we've mentioned, contact forms, there's a plug-in for that, and it will allow you to easily integrate contact forms into your website, and that allows the visitors to reach out, communicate with you easily. There are things like social media plugins where you can seamlessly integrate social media platforms and allow users to share content or follow your social media profile without ever leaving your website. And we talked a little bit about e-commerce plugins, but really what they do is they create online stores, they manage product listing, process payments, track inventories. These make your life as an online retailer so much easier. And that is something to always keep in mind when working with something like WordPress. Now, a lot of the competitors are trying to do something similar, but truthfully, until this point, I think WordPress has been the leading one. I don't think I know WordPress has been the leading web-based software to build on for websites. Now let's take a look at WordPress as a content management system. And it is a very powerful content management system offering the clients and the developers the ability to easily manage and update website content in real time. So unlike traditional methods that required specialized software or technical knowledge, WordPress provides a user-friendly interface accessible through any browser. So typically in WordPress, content is organized into two main categories or two main components. These are posts and pages. Posts are typically used for dynamic and real-time or time-sensitive content. So you want to think of something like blogs or articles or news updates. These are posts. They allow for easy creation, categorization, and management of these blogs. That's what that category does. And which means that it ensures that the website remains fresh and up to date with the latest information. So posts are things that are constantly changing. On the other hand, you have pages, and pages are used for static content that represents the core pages of the website. So things like home or services, about, contact, um, things like that. These are information generally on these pages does not change. It doesn't have to be updated all the time. There aren't any news stories coming out. There aren't any blogs that belong on the static pages. They are there. They hold down the fort. Think of it like walls to a room, and then the posts are the decoration, the seasonal decorations that come in and out. So pages, what they do is they provide a structure and a framework for organizing essential information, and that allows for easy customization and editing. And when we're talking about WordPress intuitive editors, clients and developers can easily update and modify the page almost effortlessly, and making that simple to keep the website's information accurate and relevant. And so the content management system functionalities of WordPress, it empowers clients to take control of the website without relying on technical experts. And it enables them to make an instant update, add new content, and maintain consistency across the site. And that ensures the website's always fresh, engaging, and user-friendly to visitors. That is on the client side. Whereas on the developer side, or on the designer side, you can also benefit from CMS capabilities because you can easily build and structure websites that provides this seamless content management experience for the client. There are some incredible websites that have used WordPress in the past and continue at times to use WordPress. For example, Bank of America used it, Sony Music used it. A lot of these, Pepsi, Spotify, Ford, Rolling Stones, these are all big names that have used this software. So it is something that is credible. And WordPress, it really gained a widespread popularity and recognition as this versatile and reliable website platform. And it did a great job at attracting diverse range of industry leaders across various sectors, because it allows the developers to tailor to the need of the client easily without having to worry about anything. And so because it's so diverse, because it has an extensive plugin library, incredible content management capabilities, and design flexibility, it allows you as the client or you as a designer to create visually stunning, user-friendly, and feature-rich website that engage and captivates your audience. And this widespread adoption of these industry leaders is just a testament of its reliability, its versatility, and its ability to meet the diverse need of businessmen or businesses, businessmen and women, or businesses and organizations across all sectors. So it is something brilliant to see and to know and to have. And so that is it for today's today's lecture together, journey together, and I will be with you guys soon. Bye for now.